is here. Your congregation is here. We pray for the triple portion of your Holy Spirit. Touch hearts, transform lives. We know it has never happened before that you gather Israel in a desert without a message for them. We are here we want to meet you. Help us to have that special encounter with you this morning. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I greet you all in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Now, it's very true. Whenever I stand here, I'll be racing against time. I don't know what. But every time when I preach at Salt River, there is no time. But it's normal. We are used to that. It's Healthy Day today. And we are going to talk about healthy. So the topic that we are going to discuss this morning is entitled The Way to Intelligent Healthy Laws. The Way to Intelligent Healthy Laws. And I pray that God may speak to us in a way that pleases Him. And the sermon will be again available on YouTube to those with access. There's a ministry there that is called the Truth Champion Ministry. You can go find it, and there are many devotions and Bible studies that are there. You can learn a lot and be blessed in your homes as well. Now, everything that is on a person's body is built by what he or she is. Everything that is on the person's body is built by what he or she is. And this is true. Now, I used to play football when I was still in school. Our coach used to encourage us to eat too much garlic, for that would prevent broken bones. And we used to eat too much garlic, and I never experienced a broken bone throughout my career as a footballer. And recently I had an infection within my eyes, and one guy came to me and said, if you are struggling with eyes, eat more carrots and more pumpkins. Your eyes will get better. And I started following that, and I can confirm to you that my eyes are better. I don't have glasses. Yeah. So everything, even those with doctors in their home, you can go find out. Everything on person's body, there is food that is good for the hair, there is food that is good for brain, there is food that is good for bones, there is food that is good for every part of your body. Now our first verse of consideration today is coming from Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22 and 23. Famanguma.
Hebrews chapter 12.
I thought you are going to sit here. Come here, on these leather chairs. Thank you.
Hebrews chapter 12, verse 22 to 23. But you are come unto Zion, and unto the seat of the living God, the heavenly Jerusalem, to an innumerable company of angels, and to the general assembly, and the church of the firstborn, which are written in heaven, and to God, the judge of all, and to the spirit of the just men made perfect.
Verse 23.
Verse 23. To the general assembly and church of the firstborn,
Right.
which are written in heaven, and to God the judge of all, and to the spirit of just men made perfect.
Now, I read this verse to remind you that there is a church in heaven. There is a church in heaven, and this church was there before the church on earth was established. Now, the church of God started in heaven way back before creation. when man was created in Eden, the church of God followed man. Now, when you sit here to worship, you join the family in heaven in worshiping. So when you sing, you join the church in heaven in music. When we preach here, we join the church in heaven in sharing testimonies of life. Whatever we do on earth, Madage, we join the church in heaven. Now, when the church that was founded by God in heaven came down on earth, it met men in the Garden of Eden. And it came with a package that was good for men. Gene 1 verse 29.
Verse 29.
Verse 29.
And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of the tree yielding seed.
Right.
To you it shall be for meat.
Now, this is one of the packages that the church brought to men in the Garden of Eden. It came with the diet that a man should eat if you are to join the church in heaven. So the church on earth, they connect with the church in heaven. When they eat the diet that God gave the church on earth, they completely join the church in heaven. Now, this diet, I do acknowledge that there are many people who never heard of it before. After we preach, we give such people an opportunity to make a decision. Because our encouragement to preach is Isaiah 55 verse 11.
Verse 11.
Verse 11.
So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, and it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please.
This is what
and it
we
shall
preach.
prosper in
When the word of God comes to people, it does not return to him empty-handed. It always achieved its purpose. If you all may decide not to obey it, but one cares about his life, he will accept it and believe it, and there is celebrations in heaven. Now, let me tell you something that you didn't know. When the church of God followed men on earth, sin also followed men on earth, and men yielded to sin. The moral standards were compromised. And God started working with men to bring back men to his original plan. And every time when God chose men to work with, he also chose their diet. This one, we read it in Judges chapter 13, verse 3 to 5.
Chapter 13, verse 3. And the angel of the Lord appeared unto the woman, and said unto her,
Right.
Behold, now thou art barren, and bearest not, but thou shalt conceive and bear a son. Verse 4.
Verse 4.
Now therefore, beware, I pray thee, and drink not wine, nor strong drink, and eat not unclean thing. For lo, thou shalt conceive and bear a son,
Right.
and no razor shall come on his head, for the child shall be a Nazarene unto God from the womb, and he shall begin to deliver the Israelites out of the hand of the Philistine.
This is God speaking to holy women. And he says, Blessed are you women, because you have been chosen by God to give birth to a Nazarene of God. Now here is a deal. The first food that the child eats while in your womb is through you. As you carry this child, do not eat anything that is not holy. For when you eat anything that is not holy, you jeopardize the mission of the seed that is in you. I have seen many women who behave like fools. When they are pregnant, they eat everything. But God is saying here that when you are pregnant, it is the time when a woman should go to God and consult to God. What must I eat so that the seed that is within me may achieve his or her own purpose when he's born? There are many children that were born doomed because of the diet that their parents ate are carrying a demon when you are actually carrying a blessing. Drinking alcohol, man, the Dorcas woman, because you are craving when you are pregnant. Are you mad? Luke 1 verse 15, another chosen one.
Verse 15. For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord, and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink. He shall be filled with the Holy Ghost, even from his mother's womb.
Men of God are chosen before they are born. I was anointed a preacher before I was born. You were anointed as a deacon before you were born. And the unborn child that is in your womb, God has already anointed his mission. Do not jeopardize it by eating unhealthy food and unholy food. Very fun. Matthew chapter 3, verse 4.
Verse 4. And the same John had his raiment of camel's hair, and the leather girded about his loins, and his meat was locusts and wild honey.
This was the diet of another man of God who was chosen, John the Baptist. His diet was comprised of locust fruit and wild honey, enough to take care of the men of God. This is not in the history of Israel that you cannot separate diet and character. Understand this. You cannot separate the two. Some of you are who you are because of what you eat. Anyway, all of you. Now, among the chosen ones of God is Daniel and his friends. Now, Daniel and his friends lived in Jerusalem. Because of Hezekiah's sin, Jerusalem was then captured and taken to Babylon as captives. Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were among the people that were taken to Babylon as captives. When they get there, these four were chosen to help the kingdom of Babylon. They were to work as CIOs of Nebuchadnezzar. Now Nebuchadnezzar chose them and said, I want these people. Let's enjoy the story. Daniel chapter 1, verse 3 and 4.
Verse 3.
Verse 3.
And the king spake unto Ashpenaz, the master of the eunuchs, that he should bring certain of the children of Israel, and of the king's seed, and of the princes, children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in wisdom, and cunning in knowledge, and understanding in science, and such as an ability in them to stand in the king's palace.
Now, I want you to understand this one. Not everyone has an ability to stand before the king. But the children without blemish, are we together, church? Children who are intelligent, children who are sober-minded, children who are straightforward, these are worthy to stand before the earthly kings. Not everyone, not all Jack and Jews can go and say, I also want to serve you, Mr. Zuma. They look at the quality of the person. And Daniel and his friends had these qualities. Verse 5.
Verse 5. And the king appointed them a daily provision of king's meat and of the wine which he drank, so nourished them 3 years, that at the end thereof they might stand before the king.
No! The boys are perfect when you look at them. But I don't know what was wrong with Nebuchadnezzar. Anyway, he understood the principle that if I were to undo the Jerusalem teachings in these boys, they must attend the university lessons. But only university lessons are not enough to turn this from Israelites to Babylonians. What must I do? Let me appoint them a daily meal. Are we together, church? Because with this daily meal, I can take out this Israelite thing in them and make them proper Babylonians. Nebuchadnezzar, a heathen king, knew that there is no character that is different from time. He knew that you cannot separate the two. So if I were to work with these people, let me appoint them a daily meal. And they said, and understand this one also, it needed 3 years for Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, while they were eating the king's deity, which comprises of pork and wine and hair, they needed 3 years for them to be able to stand before the king. But verse 8 has a message.
Verse 8. But Daniel purposed in his heart that he should not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuchs that he might not defile himself.
Many people do not understand that the food has a potential of defiling a person. Food has a potential of making that which was holy very unholy. And the Bible says, Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself by the portion of the king's meat. Purposing means even if it is appetizing, I will not eat it. Even if everyone loves to eat this meat, I will not eat it. The purposing party is the party that defines a Christian from an ordinary person. One guy told me that the only difference between me and you, Aaron, I'm a millionaire, you are not. The difference is not because I think too much or better than you, but it's because I purposed to value any cent that passes through my hand. And that was when I saw him scratching the floor looking for 50 cents. And he said to me, the only reason why you are poor is because you don't know the value of 50 cents. And I want to tell you today, the only reason why we have problems in church, it is because you have underestimated the value of the table. That is the only reason why we are who we are as Christians. But glory be to God, Daniel purposed in his heart. And this is where many people fail. They fail to purpose in their heart to do good even if everyone is doing bad. Hebrews chapter 12 has got another man who failed to purpose in his heart and he copied what everyone else was doing.
Hebrews chapter 12.
Verse 16 and 17.
Lest there be any fornicator or a profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For you know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
He looked at the food, and he looked at his birthright. He compared the two. And he said, what is birthright? He sold his birthright for a portion of food. It was appetizing in the pot. I am not there. It was appetizing in the pot. And Esau said, what is birthright that I should hold on to it? He said, Jacob, give me this, I want to eat it. And the Bible says, when he looked for repentance, he sought it with tears, but he found it not. This is what happens when you fail to purpose in your heart. Even virginity, when it's gone not to come back again. No matter how much you cry for it, when it's gone. There are many people that want to test. The only reason why stadiums of those false prophets are full is because people failed to purpose in their hearts. And today they contracted AIDS. They want miracles to take it out. Esau did not find repentance, no matter how much he sought it. There are scars that come because of disobedience. Let me tell you one thing. There are temptations that you cannot afford to give into. There are some temptations that you cannot afford to make a mistake on when they are presented before you. You want to make a right decision. Ask Jesus. He will tell you that in the desert, when Satan came to me, I was hungry. And he said, if you are the Son of God, turn stones into bread. Those are some of the temptations you cannot afford to make a mistake on. Had he turned the stones into bread, you are not going to be here, all of you. One mistake can ruin the 20 years of proper lifestyle that you had. One mistake. Let me not say this one. Today, TSC has formed the biggest part of our lifestyle. Because Eve could not purpose in her heart to do good in Eden. Listen to what she did. Genesis chapter 3, verse 6.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to desire to make one wise, she took the fruit thereof, and did it, and gave also unto her husband.
When she looked at it, it was good for food. And it was appealing to the eye. And it was desired to make one wise. When those three were placed before her by Satan, she gave in and she said, I will eat this. So when you look at it, some of them, when they are, especially beer, when it is in the bottle, you feel like having a taste. When meat is displayed on the table, so it is irresistible. It is irresistible. You feel like having a taste of it. And some of them, they make wise like stick. I work with the people that smoke stick. When they come from smoking stick, now eyes are out. They think they are on top of the world. Whatever they do so, they think everyone is nobody except them. I spoke to one of them and I said, why do you take hair? And he said, because it makes me feel like the best out of all of you. Eve saw the fruit that it was suitable to make one wise, and she ate it. That's why we have you today. Yes. Let me tell you, when it comes to food, when it comes to dressing, when it comes to everything in your Christian journey, you ought to purpose in your heart to do good. You ought to purpose. It's high time you do not let your eyes judge for you. You let your conscience speak for you. May God deliver His church from indulging in everything that it defiled the body. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Hey, you can smile. It's not bad. One day I was walking at home and I looked at my brother. My brother, he also loves this stick. Now, I saw him kneeling on the road and he was laughing like there's no tomorrow. Now, we were looking at him from a distance. He was laughing. But after some time, I said, no, I have to find out what is going on there. I went to him and I said, what is it attaining you here on the road? It's only you and the road. He said, you don't know, brother, come closer. And I drew closer to him. He said, look at this end, the way it is walking. It has got a style and end. That's why I'm an end. It has got a style. Look at the way it raises up its legs. Daniel 1 verse 10.
Daniel chapter 1 verse 10. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my Lord, him who has appointed your meat and your drink. For why should ye see your face worse sleeping than the children which are of the sort? Then shall ye make me endangered my head to the king.
Right.
Verse 11.
Verse 11.
Then said Daniel to Nebuchadnezzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. Prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us fowls to eat and water to drink. Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee, and the countenance of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, and thou shalt see that thou shalt
If
see.
you were Christians, you were going to discover that for them to stand before the king while they were eating pork and drinking wine and beer, it needed 3 years. But for them to stand before the king while they were eating God's original diet, it needed 10 days. It's 10 days versus 3 years. I will get again. Daddy is saying here, give us 10 days. If we had time, but again, I was going to preach about 10 days. But time does not allow. Daddy is saying, give us 10 days. After that, test us. Verse 18,
Verse 18.
Verse 18.
Then let our countenance be looked upon before thee,
Right.
and the countenance of the children that eat the portion of the king's meat,
Right.
and as thou seest, deal with thy servant. So
He has declared already.
he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days.
Right.
And at the end of the 10 days, the countenance appeared fair and fatter in the flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of king's meat.
Hallelujah. After 10 days, now I spoke to another guy and he said to me, I have been, the doctor gave me 3 months. I'm going to die of cancer. And I said, you have 3 months. And he said, yes. And I said to him, can I borrow 10 days of your 3 months? And he said, what are you going to do with those 10 days? And I said, just give me 10 days of your 3 months. You are dying anyway. Then he gave me his last gift of, 10 days. And I said to him, I'm not a dietitian. Neither am I a doctor. But in these 10 days, I am going to draft a menu for you. And I drafted a menu for the guy for 10 days. And I said, every morning, wake up, pray and eat this. In the afternoon, pray and eat this. In the evening, pray and eat this. No in between meals. I am the doctor now. You listen to me very carefully. Now a dying man has no option. He listened to me and he did that. On the other side, I was fasting. When I read the book of Daniel, I met the 10 days. The countenance of the boys were changed. I want you to change this man's life. After 10 days, I went to him and he said to me, I don't understand, but my energy level has increased. And I said, it is fine. Go back to the doctor. That gives you 3 months. He must add some days on your life. And he went back to the doctor. The doctor said, I don't know what happened, but as it seems now, cancer has been dealt with in your body. I can testify to you, the man was not an Adventist. He is an elder in God's church today. It's 4 years after 3 months. Believe me, when God speaks, you listen.
Amen.
When God speaks, you obey. When God says 10 days, He means it. I have so many testimonies. It's only that this deity is admired by non-Adventists, where I mean it most of the time. I am enjoying miracles every day where God is changing people's lives for only obeying His commandment. 10 days, there is happiness in the home. 10 days, sugar diabetes is gone. 10 days, your performance at work is better. 10 days, happiness at home is better. 10 days. No, I used to struggle. She's not here, so you cannot tell her. And I'll tell her. But yeah, we used to have a problem with my sister. Every time, today is the heart, my heart is here. At first, I used to pay bills to the doctors. But there was a time when I said it's enough. I'm not going to pay any doctor's bill. So it's either you comply or you die. This is what we are going to do. You are going to stop eating this and this and this, and you are going to exercise from now on. After that, we never went to the hospital again with her. When God created the human body, He created the deity that is best for human body. Oh, how nice will it be if all Christians would make a decision in their heart like Daniel and say, God, after what comes, we are going to follow your precepts and your orders. You will enjoy healthy life. Hallelujah.
Amen.
Don't be angry now. Now, why did Daniel refuse the king's portion? Why did he refuse? Why did he propose? Because he read Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2 to 3. Very comfort.
Verse 2. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God. The God has chosen thee to be peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. Verse 3. Thou shalt not eat any abominable thing.
You are peculiar. You are holy. You are a chosen generation. Thou shalt not eat anything that is abominable to God. This is what kept Daniel safe in Babylon. Because he understood his identity. He also read Isaiah chapter 28, verse 7 to 9.
But there also have erred through wine and through strong drink. Are out of the way the priests and the prophets have erred through strong drink. They are swallowed up of the wine, and they are out of the way through strong drink. They erred in vision, they stumble in judgment. For all the table are full of vomit and fume, so that there is no place clean. Who shall ye teach knowledge, and who shall ye make you understand?
Repeat that one. Who?
Verse 9.
Verse 9.
Who shall ye teach knowledge? Whom shall ye make it to understand doctrine? Them that are made from milk and drawn from the breast.
If you eat unhealthy food, you cannot stand here teaching the word of God. When Ellen White said those that eat meat should not stand and teach on our pulpits, you all say, oh, where did she get it? She got it from Isaiah 28. When you eat unhealthy food, you cannot teach the truth of God because the mind is corrupt. Who shall you teach? The word of God says, give them over to children. You spend the whole day there singing, Jesus loves me. We're there. That's what you can do. You cannot teach doctrine, never. You cannot teach Bible prophecy, never. You cannot teach knowledge, never. You cannot acquire the wisdom of God when you eat and drink beer, never. And Daniel knew that. He is a minister in Babylon. Though in Babylon, but he's still an Israelite. His mission can easily be compromised by piety. He said, I will not defile myself. I will not defile myself. Proverbs 20 verse 1 is one of the verses that Daniel read while they were in Jerusalem.
Verse 1.
Verse 1.
Wine is a mocker. Strong drink is a raging. Whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise.
If you want to see foolish people, go to the pub. Everyone, it is the Bible. Whoever drinks wine and beer is very foolish. They are very the same brother of mine. One day they went to the pub. They love drinking, oh my brother. And they went to the pub. While they were in there, they had a conversation, and my brother was very angry, saying, how come we have so many old women? Not even one who is young, all of them are magogos, grannies and Now, my elder brother said, I said to him, relax, we came here for beer, not for women. Then they drank. Later in the evening, my same brother went to my brother and he said, hey, that lady is very young and energetic. I want to go with that one tonight. A typical fool. She was a granny when he was sober. She became a teenager when he was drunk. And the Bible is saying everyone who drinks is a fool. They don't care about their families. They pay prostitutes while there's a wife at home. With the money they were supposed to provide breakfast for their children. Many children are born HIV positive because of their irresponsibleness after they got drunk. Foolish. And there are young ladies here who loves more when he's drunk than when he is a foolish person. And you also in that mode of foolishness. One of the verses that Danny read, Isaiah 66, verse 15, Verse
15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. With his shadow like fury, to render his anger with fire, and with his flame of fire. But for by fire and by his sword will the Lord feed of the and slain of the Lord shall be many. They that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the garden, behind one tree in the midst, eating swine's flesh and abomination, and the mouth shall be consumed together, says the Lord.
If people knew that eating pork will definitely keep them out of heaven, they were not going to go to churches that says everything that flies you may eat except the aeroplane. They will not go to church that says everything that swims you may eat except the body. There are many people that are not going to make it to heaven because of diet. Many. Whether in the Adventist or non-Adventist community, even you who crave Topoloni, pork will keep you out of heaven. If you read Zephaniah, it does not say I will beat the people that drinks beer. It says the people that also sit around those that drink. I think God is playing. Let me tell you something that you didn't know. The Israelites, when God delivered them from Egypt to Canaan, on their journey to Canaan, God was teaching them vegetarian diet. This one you didn't know. Because the journey of the Israelites from Egypt to Canaan is like the journey of the Christians from this world to our heavenly Canaan. Now, in their way, God was trying to undo that which Egypt did in them. And one of them was diet. Now, I'll prove this by text. Exodus 1, chapter 12, verse 31.
Verse 31. And he called for Moses and Aaron by night, and said, Rise up and get you forth from among my people, both you and the children of Israel, and go save the Lord as he has said. Also take your flocks and your heads, as you have said, be gone and be blessed also. Verse 37. And the children of Israel journeyed from Ramesses to Succoth, about 600,000 on footmen, beside children, and a mixed multitude went up also with them, and flocks and heads, even very much cattle.
So, Numbers want to go to lunch. This is the Israelites when they were in Egypt. They left there with very much cattle. You eat beef, ne? You eat beef, ne? Just answer it. Don't pretend as if you don't eat it. They had very much cattle in their way. To you, they had very much meat with them as they were going to Canaan. And these clean animals, we learn about them first when Noah was about to enter in the ark. God decided to him, take seven of the clean, and the hairy ones take by 2. Now, the clean ones were not clean for food. They were clean for sacrificial system. Wake up. They were not clean for food. Right from when Adam sinned, God separated animals. The clean ones were the ones which were supposed to be taken to the altar. So when Moses, Aaron, and all the leaders of Israel took these many cattle and many heads with them, they did it for sacrificial system on their way to heaven. Not for food. The confirmation, you get it on Numbers chapter 11.
Numbers chapter 11, verse 4. And the mixed multitude that was among them felt a lasting, and the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat. We remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all besides this manna there before our eyes. And the manna,
So if there's manna, is there nothing?
and the manna was corroded, seed and the color thereof.
Now,
Yes, the color
they are
was
giving you the recipe to make manna if you go home. The manna was made of coriander seed. I will tell again. Very vegetarian, pure. That's the food that came from heaven. And that was their diet in their way to Canaan. Manna. And they started crying for meat. Now, let me ask you, if they had their many cattle, was there any reason for big men to cry for meat? Answer this question. They had many cattle with them. Cattle are clean animals. Was there any need for Lenny to cry before his husband for beef? No answer, no. Let me try this. They had many cattle, many clean animals with them. Was there any reason to cry for meat? Answer. Every man was just supposed to go to his tent and say, honey, we are eating this one today. But because they were not allowed to do that, they had to cry until Moses went to God. Hey, I can imagine. And ladies did not cry on this one, leave them out. It was men. You saw them singing here the other day. When it was almost day, they were here, many of them. Yeah, those voices that were singing in this day, they were crying. And then Mary with a small voice, crying for me. Because God was trying to prepare a nation that will lead the Israel, that will lead the whole world to the original plan that God had.
Amen.
Leviticus 17 verse 10, Vanafamba. Once we
17 verse 10. And whatsoever men there be of the house of Israel, and of the stranger that sojourn among you, that manner of blood,
of blood, right?
I will even set myself against that sword that eateth blood, you cut from among his people. And for the life of the flesh in the blood.
For the life of the flesh is in the blood, yeah.
And I have given it to you upon the altar to make an atonement for your souls.
This is one reason why God said you should not eat blood. Because the life of the animal is in the blood. So when you eat blood, you are eating the life of the animal. Eventually, the life of the animal will be seen on you. Now, this one, Spirit of Prophet says that the eating of flesh strengthens animalism on people. You start living like an animal. Some of you are very aggressive like animals. It is because of the diet that you eat. Some of you here, let me not say this one. Now when we grew up, I used to hate the cattle and the goats and we used to see animals having sex on public places without shame. Today we are seeing that on humans. They walk naked in the streets there. They kiss in the street, long street, that busy street. You see them busy kissing each other. Don't blame them. It is because they have been consuming too much blood. You can never be a pure Christian when you eat something that is unhealthy and abominable. Never. I swear with my life, sitting before you, you can never overcome until you overcome the diet question. Most of you here, you repent every Sabbath. Now we're going to make a call just now in 3 minutes or 4. Some of you are going to stand up again. Next week you stand up for the same seat. correct your diet and your life will change for good. You ignore this as if you didn't know it. That before Jesus answered the second temptation, he had to answer the first one, diet question. Without answering that, you cannot progress as a Christian. Never. Never. You can only look like a Christian. Now, what is to define our last answer? Then we pray. What is to define yourself? That Daniel refused. Leviticus 22, verse 19.
Verse 19.
Verse
And
19.
you shall offer at your own will a male without blemish of the pigs, of the sheep, or of the goats. But whatsoever hath a blemish, that you shall not offer, for it shall not be accepted for you. And whosoever offereth a sacrifice of peace offering unto the Lord to accomplish his vow, and a free will offering in pigs or sheep, it shall be perfect to be accepted. There shall be no blemish therein. Blind or broken, made or having wind, scalp or scab, you shall not offer these unto the Lord, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar of the Lord.
Exodus 12, verse 5. Malachi 1, verse 8. Quickly. Who else has got the Bible? Who brought this Bible to church?
Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. You shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats.
Malachi 1, verse 8. Go.
Malachi chapter 1, verse 8. And if you offer the blind for sacrifice, is it not evil? And if you offer the lamb and sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto the governor. Will he be pleased with thee, or accept thy person, says the Lord of hosts.
Now, this is what used to happen in the old times. When a person eats anything that is unknown, this is why Nebuchadnezzar looked for people without blemish. Did you hear that verse? Or you forgot already? Now, when a person eats something that is not right, and he feels sick, God would regard that person as a defiled person. This is why you would see people with lepers, they would be thrown out of the village. Because they are dirty, they are unclean, their sickness is as a result of misbehaving. Now the same would apply to anyone who eats anything that is abominable to God. If you fall sick out of that, God would regard you as an unclean person. Before he heals your sickness, you must be clean. And Ellen White says it in one of her books, Counsels on Diet and Food. And he says, those that eat unhealthy food, they eat anyhow. And they fall sick. Even if they come to the church leaders to pray for them, God will not heal such. Because you are unclean before God. What you need is deliverance from sin, not healing from your disease. Hallelujah.
Amen.
So God accepts animals as sacrifices that are without blemish. God is not a God of garbage. That you go out there and you mess around. When you are sick, you come to church. God is also looking for perfect sacrifices to use in his ministry. You don't come here when you are dead head. You are filled with the diseases. We thank God because some are accepted. But we also thank him because some are warned. You will be rejected for that. God is trying to make his church holy and without blemish in front of him. This is Ephesians 5, verse 26 and 27. The church of God must be holy without, no, the word holy does not mean living sin. The word holy means being different. The church of God must be different. When everyone eats anything, God's church does not eat anything. How can I guess?
Amen.
This is the reason why we are called the Church of God. Because we call you to the wholeness of the gospel of Christ. We are different from anyone else because we teach you to dress differently. We teach you to eat differently. I was in Limpopo recently and we preached this gospel. The heathens accepted it. The church had questions on it. Now, only last week when I came back to Cape Town, I received a call from the church elder. One of the members at that church played with the sin, and then last Sunday she was possessed with demons, and she was speaking all sorts of nonsense. Now the whole church gathered to pray for her, and then Satan found a chance to humiliate them. She stood in front of them, and she said to them, God sent you a messenger in this community, and we planned it that Aaron should not come here. And I can testify how we hustled to go to that crusade. I didn't want to go. And you all church members, when Aaron finally came here, we planned that all of you would reject his messages. And we succeeded in that. Today you are who you are. You don't have power to cast me out because all of you have got our members. Now can you imagine the church of God be humiliated by the demon? They were calling me, hey, come back and have at least 1 weekend with the church, and I'm not coming. Let me encourage you. These lips that keep on begging you, eat good and dress well, they will not speak forever. One day, my lips and the lips of all those that works with me in the field, they shall be silenced, Mataki. Before that happens, make a wise decision and walk with God. Walk with God. Why don't you test Him? Why don't you test Him? He wants you to walk with Him. Romans 12 verse 1, it says, I beseech you, brethren, that you may present your bodies before God a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable, for that is your reasonable service.
Amen.
That is your reasonable service. God wants your bodies as a living sacrifice. And remember, even to your kings, you can't offer a sacrifice that is lame or that has got blemish on it. I would that you all may be presented before God, holy and acceptable before Him. We want to pray, we want to pray with the Church of God. We want to pray with those. That says, the verse that I read, 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 11, it says, and some of us, we were also like you. We also ate unhealthy food. We also drank unhealthy drinks. We also dressed anyhow. But God washed us by the water of righteousness. And if He did it for us, He can do it for you as well. The Church of God, which started in heaven and came on earth, it is preparing the people to be in the state of Adam before sin, on earth before you are taken to heaven. Now Adam before sin had a diet that he ate. You ought to eat that diet while you are still here on earth before you are taken to heaven. And the millions, day by day, are accepting this teaching. Adventists and non-Adventists. Will you join millions to walk in God's way? If that is your prayer and your wish, stand up. We want to pray for you. Stand up. You want God to transform you completely. You want God to change your life completely. You want God to help you live a righteous life that is holy and acceptable to Him. Stand up. Matake is going to pray. We are not going to make a long call. We are not going to make a long call. I'm putting my papers in because it's done. Now we want to pray. If there is one more that wants to join these people that are standing, I told you when we started, the word of God will not go and come empty-handed. With only these few that are standing up, there is already a party in heaven. You can either join them or not, but the party won't stop. If you join them, then we will have more hours to celebrate your victory as well. Stand up, we want to pray for you. But again, there is a song. It is there to invite you to come to Jesus. Because that is why we preach. We preach that you may be saved. You may accept the truth. Time is not on our side. I can assure you, some of you here will see the Lord coming. Wouldn't it be nice that when you see Him coming, you'll be on the right side? They need to go with Him together. And you can make that decision today, and your name will be confirmed in the books above. Jesus is here to save those that are looking forward to heaven. Stand up before it's too late. But I can pray for the church. May God bless you.
Let us close our eyes and pray together. Our Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you this afternoon for the message of salvation that you've brought to your children, for the message of reformation that you have given unto us, Lord. We pray and ask for power and strength that we may reform in our rights, that we may reform in our dressing, that we may live a holy and acceptable life before Thee. Lord, on our own we accept that we cannot do it, and it is impossible. But we want to thank you, Lord, for you have given us power to overcome all these things. I pray for the church, those that are standing, they have heeded the call and they've responded accordingly. Lord, I pray for the power to overcome, for the power to reform, for the power to live the gospel. I pray for those who are in the valley of decision making, that Lord, you may give them the power to overcome and the power to hear the call. Lord, I pray that you may live a life that glorifies your name. Many of us were struggling. Many of us were sick. Lord, I pray that you may help us to reform. I pray for Brother Aaron, that you may continue to use him in your ministry. That at the end of the day, Lord, as the church, we may live a holy and acceptable life before Thee. That all glory and honor may be given unto Thee. We pray and praise your name in Jesus' name. Amen.
We'll close our eyes again, the last prayer. Thank you, Lord, for your will is done in this place as it is in heaven. Amen. May your name be glorified forevermore. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.